thought I was going to get. There we go.
Paul, I have a very serious question to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of Windows 11 release,
That's
correct?
right.
And if you are a company, we'll call them Microsoft, and you have your latest
Yep.
OS turning 1 year old,
Sure.
don't you think you would make a blog post, maybe a tweet, maybe or acknowledge this sort of milestone in any way?
In any way,
Like
I'm going to tweet. I'm going to tweet that. Um, that's funny. Yeah,
like
you would think that, but that
maybe share a
that would
stat, a
that would
positive
be
note.
yeah something.
Like it's from a marketing perspective, it is a layup. It's a slam dunk. Like all you gotta do is be like, "We're so happy that Windows 11's been out for just literally anything," and they just kind of looked at it like the sad puppy who sits on the gutter and it's all wet. You're like, yeah, like
They didn't even do that. They
no,
didn't
they
even
did nothing.
acknowledge it.
Like I looked.
Like they didn't do that.
I mean, maybe they're waiting for their Surface event to do that, but that's like a tweet.
I don't know. I don't feel like all I do is complain about my. Actually, I feel like all I do is complain, but about Microsoft specifically because unfortunately
They make it
that's
easy.
the career I chose. They show you it is a target-rich environment for complaints.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know.
like it just
How you
came and
doing?
went like a birthday and just
I know. It's like ah.
yeah. So,
Oh
anyways,
well.
that was fun.
Yeah. Anyway, exactly. Which,
Uh,
by the way, maybe itself is telling. Maybe that's the point. Had Microsoft acknowledged the 1 year anniversary of Windows 11 and not provided something like X% of PCs have upgraded or X million number, blah, blah, blah,
mhm.
whatever, we would have said, oh, you can tell this is bad because they didn't give us any hard numbers. But then they don't give us anything, and it's like, okay, it's kind of bad too. Like, okay, I don't know. Maybe they can never do anything to please us. Yeah, maybe it's us. Probably
Hmm. Well,
not. Okay,
something
I
that
don't
is marginally more pleasing.
know.
If you don't have a current gen, I keep wanting to say next gen Xbox, current gen. There's a really
Mhm.
good deal at Target for $250. You can get a Series S and a second controller. It's only until
Oh.
Saturday, and I suspect that this is probably going to sell pretty quick. But that's a really good deal.
So since you mentioned it, I'm not going to write this up, but there is a sale on the little storage module you can plug in these
Yep.
consoles. I think it's a terabyte. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Is it 2 terabytes? I don't know what it is, but it's normally 220. It's on sale for 200. I don't consider that an incredible deal, but actually that's the lowest price it's ever been at. And I think there's only one, right? The Seagate one. I don't think they've
Mm-hmm.
ever come out with another one, but it's everywhere. So when you said Target, I thought that's what you're going to say, but it's Target, Amazon, Best Buy. If you need such a thing, it's also on sale since we're apparently doing an Xbox deal of the day now. Whatever. I did see that and I thought, okay, if it
Yeah.
was like $150, I might consider springing for such a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We kind of glossed over this one.
Mhm.
I read about it. I was like, oh, we didn't even bring that up. So Google announced they have a hardware event coming up. When is it? Is it
Oh,
today?
by the way, in an hour, it's at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
ET because they're doing it in Brooklyn.
Yeah. So they have this event coming up, but it was earlier in this week. I think my week timeline is all screwed up now. They announced a bunch of other stuff. Like they announced their Wi-Fi Pro, which I need
That's
to
right.
look at because I thought I read that they don't have microphones. They don't have the stupid Google thing in
That's
it.
exactly right. That's
And
right.
that to me is way more appealing.
So I'm writing an article about this, and it
Hmm.
might be out today, but I, like you, have to want to and have to upgrade past Wi-Fi 5. I think we talked about this. I looked at the Eero stuff because of the Amazon event. The Eero 3 node pack for 6E is like $700.
Yeah.
The Google one is $400.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're right. There's no Google Assistant. There's no built-in speaker.
Those are all benefits, not
Oh no,
not
I'm right.
negatives.
I'm sorry. Yeah, two Ethernet ports on both. Both could be. There's it doesn't use like a station and the nodes. They're all equals, right? So
Yep.
they can all be used whatever. Um, yeah, I the only so I don't want to ruin my entire article, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into this. There's Matter and thread support, which is super important
So
for future proofing,
the Matter is
right?
what matters to me.
What matters, exactly. But for you and I both, here's just a little asterisk in the corner. Remind me which speaker company is embroiled in an incredible lawsuit with this company right now,
Mm,
and which speakers might or might not work particularly well on this mesh network. Because one of the things Sonos wants you to do is
mm.
dedicate a channel if you're going to just use Wi-Fi, and then it becomes like a, whatever. Or you can wire one and you make a Sonos net. Although, in my experience, that hasn't worked very well because I have kind of a big house, and I suspect what's happening is it's not taking advantage of the mesh anymore. It's
Mm.
just, it's creating its own goofy little Wi-Fi thing. But anyway, I'm probably still going to go in this direction because it's almost half the price. Like it's,
Yeah. Well,
you
I
know,
need you to spend your money and let me know how it works with Sonos. Because if it breaks the Sonos, that's a deal breaker for me. Because
so I've already had a discussion with my wife. And what I have agreed to is whenever I start getting money from the book, we can buy the speaker, the Wi-Fi. But yeah, we've used this Google Wi-Fi thing for 5 years.
yeah,
You know, it's worked well. But when you go from 2.4 to 5.0 to I think it's 6 gigahertz net with 3 bands, and I mean the differences between Wi-Fi 6 and 6E is could be like 2x. The difference between Wi-Fi 5 and 6E, I mean, it's got to be
yeah, it's a pretty big
not an
jump.
order of magnitude, but it's a big upgrade.
It's a big jump.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, so we got the Google event happening today. We got a Windows birthday that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's Thursday. I still can't. I'm still perturbed that they just.
I didn't even really think of it. Now that you've made me upset, it's so terrible. Why do they do stuff like this?
If it didn't make them money, I'd be like, okay, what? But this makes nearly $10 billion a quarter for them. Like
It's the most loved version of Windows ever. Also, the most used version of Windows ever. Asterisk, asterisk.
yeah.
I don't know if they want to call attention. I mean, it's still insane to me. Like they're testing things in the dev channel right now that are features they took away in the original version of Windows 11. I'll give you 2 examples. Right-click the taskbar to get to Task Manager, right?
Yep.
So that's probably going to come back sometime roughly 2 years after they release this thing. And the other one is on the what's now called widgets. In Windows 10, this thing was called News and Interests. And one of the configurations you could make was if I mouse over this thing, don't pop up the widget thing, right? Because it's annoying. Sometimes your mouse just goes over there and this thing pops up. So you can say, I just want to explicitly click to bring it up. In Windows 11, they insidiously put this thing where Start used to be. So your mouse kind of goes over there naturally all the time. And if you mouse over that little weather display, the stupid thing pops up. So now they're testing the ability to have it not pop up on mouse over. Just like Windows 10 had, from day one. And It's like, are we going to celebrate this or just, thank you for doing what we asked for 2 years later. Thank you.
You ever get the sense, Paul, that maybe they're moving a little too fast? Oh.
Yeah, is it Facebook? I hate to quote Mark Zuckerberg. I'm sure he stole this from somewhere else, like he did everything he's done. But move fast and break things. That kind of mentality. That's cute for an online service where you can make one change in the cloud and have it go out to everything.
Right.
But it's not as cute to a locally installed OS, which is often offline, where people are not checking for updates. That kind of thing. It's just treating a mature legacy platform like Windows the way they are right now is hard on me, and should be disturbing to anyone who gives a crap about this platform.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We've got a Surface event next week where they're going to announce the Surface Studio 2 Plus. That's just
with the 11th gen, 2 gen old processors now. Yeah, no, that'll be great. I don't think we're going to get any surprises at this. I don't know what you're hearing, but I'm hearing 3 computers, and that's the whole thing.
Which is so disappointing.
Yep. I mean, I could, my sources could be wrong.
If they come out and truly just sort of rev the chips, which is kind of what we all expect.
Well, they are doing it right on top of the Ignite day one, which is kind of weird. I think in the old days when we were all showing up in Seattle or wherever this event would have been, or Orlando or whatever. Actually, this is before Ignite, but in the old days, they would have done a reviewers workshop thing on day 0, and we would have gotten a briefing, and they would have showed us the stuff, and then they would have announced it later. The way they're slapdashing this together, coincidental with Ignite, is, I think, speaks to what you just said. Like, I don't, people aren't paying attention and don't care. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you just spread this out? You know,
Mm.
why you did 22H2 in mid-September. You're doing Ignite in mid-October. Is there something right in the middle of those where you could have announced these things? No? I don't know how calendars work, I guess, but
They are
okay.
difficult.
Are they? Time zones. Time zones are difficult. Calendars, though. Come on.